Joining us now, though, Dave Brat, Congressman, 7th District, Republican in Virginia. That's the Richmond suburbs. He's running for a third term in November. He's up in a tough re-election fight. He doesn't know who his opponent will be. Could be Mike Ward. Could be Abigail Spanberger. We're going to find out sometime June 12th. Spanberger, the favorite in that, to go up against Dave Brat. And he's joining us now, Dr. Dave Brat. Congressman, good to have you.
Hey, good to be on. Thanks, John.
You got a tough battle coming up, right? I mean, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a race, but if we keep on this economic momentum we got, it gets better and better for us by the day. I mean, the economic news is just pretty staggering. They're talking about over 4% growth next quarter, and that would bring us to 3% growth year over year, which we haven't had in a long time. And that brings up jobs and wages, and African-American, Hispanic unemployment rates are at historic lows. And so, I mean, we're going to have a race just because politics is politics, right? The Democrats really don't run on a platform. They're doing all of this divisive stuff. And, you know, they always say, you know, our values, the blue values. But, boy, if you look at the language they use behind that, it's just the politics of division always. So that's tough to run against. And so we're going to run a strong race and be positive and tell Virginia how to stay pro-business, and Henrico and Chesterfield and all my counties want to retain the great schools and the great localities we have.
Well, here's the good news. Well, first of all, they are running on a platform, Congressman. I don't want to correct you on that. Their platform is Trump sucks. That's their platform. And then when you drill down and you dig deeper, because there's, you got to drill down. That's just a mantra. When you drill down, then they also say, well, Ivanka sucks too. And then when you get deeper than that, they say, elect us and we're going to impeach the president. That's basically their platform. And they're going to impeach him because they found out the other day, this is a true story, they found out that he got up in the middle of the night and he had a peanut butter sandwich and he put marmalade on peanut butter. Now, you're not supposed to do that. You don't put marmalade on a peanut butter sandwich. So that high crimes and misdemeanors, they're going to impeach him for that. You just don't do that. Who does that, right? There's something wrong with that. Putting marmalade on a peanut butter sandwich.
That's what is amazing. That's why the politics is so far off. It's amazing that there could even be a race. I mean, the economics is going good on the world stage. The president is doing well. And on what basis do you challenge this positive agenda? And you're right, there's just nothing there. And they'll pick all these hot button issues as usual. But that's it. And so we should be sweeping. We'll see about this blue wave, whether it can maintain itself in the face of all the good news. I mean, you're talking about kids getting multiple job offers now and economics like you've never seen. And so, we'll have a race against that kind of negative, but I think people are starting to see through the negative.
Well, here's the good news. In the biggest blue wave in Virginia's history, which was 2017 gubernatorial race, your district, Ed Gillespie carried your district by what? Just about 3. So you were able to win that. That's the good news. Let me read some of these stats here, okay? American job openings, according to the Wall Street Journal today, American job openings now outnumber the jobless. It's just like you have to read this and think, am I reading The Onion? American job openings now exceed the number of jobless in America. U.S. job openings, Congressman, rose to 6.7 million at the end of April compared with 6.3 million Americans who are unemployed. So there's a job and a fifth for every person seeking employment, which means that not only everybody can get a job, but it expands the job market. So people that have dropped out are now getting back in, which expands the economic pie. Let me go a little bit further. That's the first time that they started keeping records in 2000 that the number of available jobs exceeded the number of job seekers, this according to the Department of Labor. So, I mean, these are unbelievable job statistics. The jobless rate down in May to 3.8%, lowest since 2000. But here's the other thing. Wages have gone up an average of 2.6% a quarter now for 4 consecutive quarters. That hasn't been done. You know how long it's been? 1957.
Right. Wow.
57. I mean, wages are up, jobs are up, the economy is booming. All you have to do is take transportation, a taxi cab, Lyft, or Uber, whatever you prefer. I do all of them. And you just ask the driver how business is. And here's what every one of them is going to say. Business is up 2x, 3x. Tips are up. Everything is up. You go to a bar, you go out to eat, you ask the waiter. They're going to say business is up. Tips are up. The economy is booming. And let me tell you something, Congressman. At the end of the day, there's no Republican and there's no Democrat. There's jobs. There's no red. There's not blue. There's green. Economic prosperity, which we are experiencing now, I think is going to be the thing that elects you to a third term and many, many others that have an R by their name.
Yeah, I think you're right. I wrote a piece in the Richmond Times-Dispatch this Sunday. If people want to go look it up, it's called When Red States Go Blue. And I posted it on my Facebook. It's at davebrat.com. You can find it on my Facebook. But it also made the argument, not only do we have growth, but growth is taking place in red states. And the irony of ironies is the blue state folks are all moving to the red states because they're sick of high taxes, and they want a pro-business environment with great schools, good rule of law, good governance like Henrico Chesterfield have. But then when the blue folks move from other states, right, California, New York, Jersey, they come down, and then they impose their blue values again and start to regulate and raise taxes. And the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, has promised, and every Democrat will go right along in lockstep because they can't depart. They will raise taxes, and they'll put an end to the economic growth that you just talked about. And so it is just numbing. And the proof of that is every single Democrat had to vote against tax cuts. Can you imagine having your leadership tell you you cannot vote for tax cuts, and then you see what's happening, and you're on the wrong side of that issue? But they don't get that choice. If you become a Democrat, you hand your voting card over to Nancy Pelosi, signed, sealed, delivered, and that's it. And they already have agreed. We're going to raise taxes, impeach Trump, right, and just a total negative agenda, and put more regulations back on the economy, and then all the other nonsense.
Well, that's what their platform is, repeal the Trump's tax cut before it actually takes root, before you actually get the benefit of it, and then raise taxes. So where Trump's mantra is MAGA, make America great again, the Democrats' mantra here in this election is MAMA, make America miserable again. Because if they're miserable, then, there's a reason not to vote for somebody with an R by their name. So they want us to go back to being miserable, have no jobs, high unemployment, taxes are high, your children are in the basement, they can't get jobs, high school debt, everything is bad. Then they're happy. Miserable. Yep. They just want you to be miserable.
Yep. No, it's amazing. And I will put we got great news on the economics, but there is a cautionary side, too. This great economy is going to reveal that we're not getting our kids skilled up and ready to go, right? So you got 6 million and 6 million, then you got another 6 or 7 million that are just out of the workforce and not counted at all as being unemployed. And those are the groups we've got to pull off of. Some of them are stuck in welfare, poverty traps. Some of them just haven't gotten skilled up. And, boy, the schools are really getting better at this, but we're moving in baby steps. But immigration is coming up this week, and I think there's going to be a horrendous deal coming up that will not take care of the problem, right? The cheap labor crowd's going to have their win, and it's not looking good from what I'm seeing coming at us. And so we'll see whether the White House will veto that. But what I'm hearing about the bill coming through the House is it loses about every aspect of the Goodlatte bill that we've talked about on the show.
All right, stay with us a minute. I want to
gets rid of chain migration moves. It doesn't do enough on interior enforcement, and then huge DACA numbers, and et cetera.
Brat, let's get to the immigration package coming out, the Queen of the Hill, whatever you want to say it is. There's now only 3 more Republicans needed to combine with all the Democrats in order to basically just bring an amnesty bill to the floor of Congress. What is up with this?
Well, they have the votes for that discharge petition, right? Already, there's a line of 10 or 20 Republicans that'll sign on to that. And so that's a done deal. But I think they're using that more for leverage, just to try to get us all to weaken the Goodlatte bill beyond comprehension. And so from what I'm hearing, they're getting their way. And I'm not even sure if there's going to be an up or down vote on the Goodlatte bill, as we were promised, right? That's what leadership said they were going to whip on. And it looks like that's going away to me. And so E-Verify will be gone, right? That's the one of the most significant pieces, where you have to hire legal folks and have proof of that. And if you don't have that piece in place, you're going to have a magnet, right? So we're going to announce a whole new DACA program, give everyone a new status, over a million, probably 1.5 million, a new status, and maybe a path to citizenship, where they cut in the line, and that'll get Hispanic friends in my district upset, right? They had to wait in line, go through the rule of law and all that, and then now folks are just going to cut in line. But you're going to send just a massive green light to the rest of the world. Hey, come on in. Once you make it in, you're fine, right? The American people are generous people, which we are, but you will no longer have the rule of law when it comes to immigration. And so chain migration, we probably won't get rid of. And then border enforcement, we'll see, but catch and release is probably going to be weakened. I mean, it's what I'm hearing is not good, and so we'll see at the end of the week what's in play. We have a special meeting Thursday conference, so we should probably get the bottom line of what's coming at us.
I've only got a minute, but why has the Bob Goodlatte bill basically been wiped out for immigration?
I don't know. I mean, there's only 25 or so Republicans, right, that are doing the discharge petition. So 25 Republicans are joining with 200 Democrats to do Democrat policy and to drive the DREAM Act through, right, which is just a straight-out huge amnesty. And I don't know why this is having an effect on our whole conference, right? It's moving the whole conference to the left toward Democrat policy and away from the Goodlatte bill, which is 30 years. And by the way, Senator Obama was for E-Verify, and Bill Clinton was for strong immigration. So was Barbara Jordan, the civil rights leader, because they cared about the American worker and their wage rates. And the left has, gone bye-bye on all that. They're doing all the identity politics now. And so they've given up on the American worker, and that's why they're losing. But, Bernie was on track. Bernie was looking out for the American worker and wages, et cetera, until Hillary rigged it against him. And so keep your eye on the ball. I have no idea. And so hopefully enough Republicans stand strong and say no to this nonsense.
Well, they were reporting today they're only 3 votes short. I mean, it's hard to imagine before a critical midterm where the balance of power hangs there that you got all these 25 Republicans going with the Democrats in order to just save themselves, I guess, in the districts they're in. They think that's their advantage. I mean, it's just it just really makes you wonder about what is going on there. But keep fighting the good fight, Dave. We appreciate you being with us. If you want more information on Dave Brat or his campaign, it's real easy. Just go to DaveBrat.com. That's DaveBrat.com.